Now that she's 75 years old, Victoria Principal has spoken out against Andy Gibb. On January 3, 1950, in the lovely city of Fukuoka, Japan, Victoria Principal was born Vicky Ria Principal. Situated in southern Japan, this area is famous for its historical importance, beautiful coastline, and eclectic cultural legacy. Her multicultural upbringing was predicted by the fact that she was born abroad. Her birthplace was unique because Fukuoka was home to multiple U.S. military bases in the aftermath of World War II, which is why she was born there. Her dad, Victor Rocco Principal, was an Air Force sergeant stationed in Fukuoka back when she was growing up. Victor Principal was a model of discipline, devotion, and dedication as a soldier, traits that Victoria would come to admire and emulate. As a result of his job's numerous relocations, the young principal's early development and adaptability were greatly affected. Victor, an honorable serviceman of Italian-American heritage, gave his daughter the foundation of discipline and honesty that she would need for success in her chosen field. Ria Principal. Her mother was an English housewife. Despite the ups and downs of their family's nomadic lifestyle, Ria was a constant source of warmth and security for Victoria. Ria reared her daughters with grace, curiosity, and a passion for learning and culture. She was recognized for her nurturing kindness and polite demeanor, and she herself had English ancestry. Victoria grew up with a diverse cultural background that enriched her perspective thanks to her mixed Italian-American and English ancestry. Her grandparents on her father's side were Italian, thus she inherited the welcoming culture and customs of Italy. Many of Victoria's performances and commercial endeavors reflect the cultural values she absorbed, which include a profound respect for familial bonds, expressive speech, and strong emotional ties. She and her younger sister Kim had the opportunity to grow up in many locations such as Japan, London, Puerto Rico, Florida, Georgia, and Massachusetts due to their father's service in the United States Air Force. The Main family's lifestyle was characterized by constant migration. Victoria developed a sense of global citizenship as a result of the girls' exposure to different cultures, languages, and ways of life in each new place they visited. Her personality was shaped by her travels, which took her from the sun-kissed beaches of Puerto Rico to the southern charm of Georgia and the vibrant energy of Massachusetts. These experiences taught her to be adaptable, open-minded, and cosmopolitan. It is reported that the sisters went to a minimum of 17 different schools during their education due to all the moving around that happened. It was challenging to establish friendships that would remain due to the continual shifting. However, Victoria learned two skills that would serve her well in the entertainment industry: how to create an immediate impression and how to be adaptable in new environments. She overcame obstacles by keeping an inquisitive mind and a strong will, and she always tried to do her best. Known for its rigorous training and high standards, Principal attended London's illustrious Royal Ballet School. Being admitted to such a distinguished school at such a tender age was a testament to Victoria's early self-control, gracefulness, and dedication to excellence. She gained confidence, self-awareness, and a respect for the arts throughout her stay, even though dance wasn't her career path of choice in the end. She entered Miami-Dade Community College's medical program in 1968 after graduating from South Dade Senior High School in Florida. At first, Victoria's sympathetic personality and the desire to help others drew her to a medical profession. She took her studies very seriously and showed great academic promise, but destiny had other ideas. Sadly, She was involved in a terrible accident just 1 year into her degree program. She needed time away from school to heal emotionally and physically after this traumatic incident. During the months she spent mending, she felt vulnerable and introspective, which caused her to question the path she wanted to take in life. She decided she wanted to be an actress while she was recovering, which took a while. Victoria had a revelation and decided against going back to medicine. The accident had shown her how precarious life is and the significance of pursuing one's dreams. She devoted herself entirely to her new endeavor because she wanted to do what made her acting come alive. Moving to New York, she did double duty as an actress and model. Victoria did whatever it needed to break into the entertainment industry in New York City, a thriving center for the arts. She was always on the go, whether it was for commercial shots, the fashion catwalk, or her never-ending stream of auditions. While honing her skills, Victoria Principal enrolled in London's prestigious Royal Academy of Dramatic Art and trained privately under Professor Jean Scott. Because she took her acting career seriously. She studied hard because she wanted to be more than a gorgeous face. She gained valuable insight into Shakespearean tragedy, vocal modulation, stage presence, and emotional depth from Professor Scott, each of which would play a role in her eventual triumph. Victoria Principal began performing in front of an audience as early as the age of 5. She started out by making commercial appearances. She had an easy charm and was delightful to be around on camera. Even when she was a little girl, she learned the discipline needed to be successful in show business from these early experiences, which gave her a taste of the profession. Her acting career, however, was launched in 1972 with her debut feature film, The Life and Times of Judge Roy Bean. Victoria, in her role as Mexican mistress Maria Elena, was a formidable opponent to the illustrious Paul Newman. Critics and spectators alike were enthralled by her performance, and she was soon recognized as a fearless, gifted up, and comer with enormous potential. In recognition of her outstanding performance as Maria Elena, she was nominated for the Most Promising Newcomer award at the Golden Globes. This acknowledgement proved that she had made the correct choice in abandoning a career in medicine. With the nomination, she solidified her position as a promising newcomer to Hollywood. Following that, in 1973, she worked on The Naked Ape. She went to extreme lengths, like posing nude for Playboy magazine, to promote this film. This daring step surprised everyone, but it also demonstrated her dedication to her roles and her courage to take chances. Nevertheless, the film's commercial failure and conflicting reviews underscore the industry's inherent unpredictability. But the movie bombed at the box office. She had a cameo in the film Earthquake the year after that. Even if her subsequent endeavors did not immediately propel her to stardom, she persisted in accumulating expertise and exposure. As time went on, Victoria Principal became increasingly dissatisfied with her career trajectory, then moved on from performing to agenting in 1974. After becoming discouraged by the lack of substantial jobs, she sought greater control over her life and attempted a career change by working behind the scenes in Hollywood. After waiting 3 years, she finally made up her mind to go to law school, but she was broke. She had aspirations outside of the arts as well. Justice and advocacy were topics that really interested her. However, she was unable to attend law school due to financial constraints. Aaron Spelling offered her a job in Fantasy Island in 1977 in exchange for paying her law school tuition for 1 year, and she gladly accepted. Unexpectedly, This part would spark a new chapter in her acting career. This opportunity, which was too excellent to miss, marked a turning point. After starring as Dallas's Pamela Barnes-Ewing in 1978, she shot to fame around the globe. Fans all across the world were captivated by her depiction of the sympathetic yet strong-willed Pamela. Being a part of the most successful primetime soap opera of all time made Victoria a television icon of the 1980s. She became famous and made a lot of money over her 9 years of association with the series. During her time on Dallas, she gained an army of loyal followers and a tidy sum. Legend has it that she and co-star Patrick Duffy had electric chemistry on screen. There was a Golden Globe nomination for her for Best Actress in a Dramatic Series that came from it as well. Both her skill and the influence of her work were recognized by the nomination, which solidified her position among TV's top performers. She left Dallas in 1987 to start Victoria Principal Productions, a production company. After making the leap from actress to producer, Victoria became the plot whiz behind her hit made for TV films, which typically tackled heavy societal topics or emotionally charged family dynamics. The company's reputation is well deserved in the industry of television movie production, which it specializes in exclusively. She had a stellar reputation for her producing work, frequently praised for high-caliber scripts and insightful topics. She opened doors for everybody in the profession, not just herself. Her final film role was in 1998's Michael Caine vs. The World News Company. Even though she gradually faded from public view, her impact was never diminished. Although acting had provided her with a platform, she felt a strong tug from other areas of her life. Throughout the years that followed, she appeared in a plethora of television series, including Titans 2000-2001, The Practice 2000, Dallas Reunion, The Return to South Fork 2004, and many more. With these parts, she was able to celebrate her career and its accomplishments while re-engaging with supporters. Victoria Principal met actor Christopher Skinner in 1978 when she was just starting out on the hit TV show Dallas. Although Skinner's stint on Dallas was short and unremarkable, it turned out to be transformational for him personally, and he secured a small role on the show. A romance developed between the two after they became fast friends on set. Although Principal was one of the show's biggest performers and Skinner was a lesser-known actor, their bond appeared real and powerful. Their marriage came later that year after a brief romance, and at first glance, their partnership seemed promising. But tensions within the couple's relationship started to build up over time. Their priorities, personalities, and professional paths started to diverge sharply. Married life's dynamics clashed with Victoria's thriving television and business careers while she was at the peak of her fame. At the same time, Skinner may have felt even more pressure due to his poor status in Hollywood. The pair secretly separated in 1980, barely 2 years after getting married, due to irreconcilable problems that could not be resolved despite their best efforts. The marriage was short, but it was a watershed point in Principal's life. Along with her developing comprehension of romantic love, compatibility, and autonomy, it was in the early 1980s, after Victoria Principal's first divorce, that she continued to pursue her professional goals, which included establishing a strong acting career and a beauty and wellness business. She reopened her heart to the idea of marriage in 1985 after a few years had passed. In that same year, she tied the knot with Dr. Harry Glassman, a famous Beverly Hills plastic and reconstructive physician. The medical community held Dr. Glassman in the highest esteem. He was famously discreet and worked with famous people. Because it symbolized the coming together of beauty, fame, and medicine. Their union garnered a lot of attention from the media. This marriage seemed more solid and based on mutual respect than her previous one. The pair frequently made public appearances at Hollywood gatherings, where they gave off an air of poise, unity, and achievement. Although they were both famous, Principal and Glassman chose to live their lives in relative obscurity for a long time. Although they did not have children together, they lived in a beautiful Beverly Hills house and supported and encouraged one another in their pursuit of success. Principal's secret, Victoria's skincare line, was another profitable venture that allowed her to grow her business and break new ground in the world of celebrity enterprise. She continued her strong commitment to animal rights and environmental causes, among others, throughout her marriage. The couple's two-decade romance was in stark contrast to her previous short marriage, but they still ended up drifting apart at some time. They got a divorce in 2006 after being married for 20 years. Both sides respectfully refrained from discussing the reasons behind the breakup, which was characterized as amicable. The significance of self-awareness and personal growth has been emphasized by Victoria Principal in her interviews, implying that individuals can appreciate their shared past even as they develop in diverse ways. After her divorce from Dr. Glassman, Victoria Principal never remarried, despite rumors linking her to various figures, including prominent entertainers in her younger years. She has chosen not to have children and has said in multiple interviews that she has never felt a strong desire to start a family, opting instead to focus on her work, her interests, and her charitable work with all her might. Her bold choices in love and life are a reflection of her strong sense of independence, which has served to distinguish her on and off screen, earning her admiration for her intelligence, grace, and lasting impact. Actress, entrepreneur, and former Dallas star Victoria Principal has spoken publicly for the first time at the age of 75 about her passionate but sad romance with musician Andy Gibb, a time in her life that was fraught with intense emotion and turmoil. Although she had mostly kept quiet over the years in order to protect her privacy and avoid contributing to tabloid stories, Victoria recently gave an emotional interview in which she reflected on her relationship with Andy, the depth of their connection, the anguish of their split, and the lasting influence he had on her life. Their romance had captivated the public in the late 1970s and early 1980s, and fans and the media had speculated about its nature for decades. At the pinnacle of their respective careers, Victoria and Andy Gibb crossed paths. Andy, the youngest brother of the famous Bee Gees, was becoming a teen idol with a string of top-charting solo hits including Shadow Dancing, Everlasting Love, and I Just Wanna Be Your Everything, while she was riding high on her stardom from playing Pamela Barnes' Ewing on Dallas. A whirlwind romance and immediate chemistry defined their 1981 romance. Andy was captivated by Victoria's strength, elegance, and sophistication, while she was captivated by Andy's innocent allure, sensitivity, and profound vulnerability. In the eyes of the general public, they exemplified the ideal couple, beautiful, wealthy, and head over heels in love, but behind closed doors, they were enduring tremendous personal and professional strains that were putting a strain on their relationship. The effects of Andy's drug misuse, especially his cocaine addiction, on his professional and personal life were apparent. The affection Victoria had for Andy was conflicted with her reluctance to witness his self-destruction. She had always advocated for a disciplined and conscious lifestyle. Her belief that their love could rescue him was something she only admitted after the fact. However, she tragically learned as his addiction progressed that love cannot transform someone who is unwilling to alter themselves, and this reality crushed her. Victoria recently acknowledged in her reflections that breaking off the relationship was among the most challenging things she has ever had to make. She still loved Andy, but she realized she may have contributed to his decline if she had stayed with him. She explained that she had to distance herself from me not because she stopped caring, but because she cared too much. I couldn't subject him or myself to my own complicity in the problem. If I remained, I realized. As she made her escape, she was essentially pleading with Andy to get the care he needed while simultaneously protecting herself. Unfortunately, Andy never got back on his feet. Over the subsequent years, both his career and health took a nosedive. Andy Gibb passed away at the young age of 30 on March 10, 1988, from myocarditis, an infection of the heart that was probably worsened by his years of drug usage. The news broke Victoria's heart. Even though they had been away for a while, she eventually confessed that she had never completely recovered from the pain of losing him. She said that the loss of him seemed like a permanent closing of a chapter in her spirit. I really wish he could have witnessed everything for himself, and that I could have told him so much more. Decades later, when talking about Andy Gibb, Victoria Principal expresses a range of emotions, including gratitude, warmth, and grief. The happy times they spent together are treasured by her. Enjoying the beach together, chatting late into the night, sharing private laughs, and lamenting the future they were never able to create. He possessed a certain brilliance, she recalled. The problem was, he had no idea how to keep it safe from the shadows. She has finally accepted her history at the age of 75. Nevertheless, Andy continues to play a poignant role in her life narrative, one that fans still feel strongly about because they saw in them more than a Hollywood romance. They saw a touching, tragic, and prematurely ended human bond.